Hello and welcome to V8 Tech Work. So today we are going to continue integrating our application. So in the last video, we actually looked at how we can be able to integrate our admin dashboard with our backend. And also we are going to continue doing that. But here, if you go to now the parcels here, you can be able to see that this data is coming from our database and also for the users. And then the other thing that we did is that we handled new parcel where we can be able to add information here and then save it to a database. The information here is the for parcel. So if you haven't subscribed in this YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and also like this video. The other thing that you can do is to turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified the next time I upload a new video. So right now I'm going to start by pushing the code. So I'm going to open my terminal here and then I'm going to clear everything. If I do git branch right here, let's see what is there. You can see we have admin, backend, background services, frontend integration, and master. So right now we are working on this integration branch here because we are working on integrating our backend with our frontend and admin. So let's do that. So I'm going to add the code that I added in the previous video. So I'm going to commit also. So git commit, and here I can say started integration with our backend. You can just comment what you want. So started integration with our backend, and right there I have now committed. So I want to push now, so I'm going to push my integration branch. So git push origin and then integration, which is our branch. So like that. So let's see. So I'm going to add my passphrase here. And then the other thing that I need to do is I'm going to do now the pull request. Already here you can be able to see pull request and you can see even the URL here. So I'm going to copy this URL here and I'm going to go there direct. So if you haven't gone through the other videos, kindly go through the other videos so that you understand what you are doing right here. So here you can see comparing master. Here you can be able to see that it's checking for compatibility. So here I can be able to create a pull request right there, and it will be we'll be able to check, or it's checking for ability to merge automatically. So let's merge pull request and then confirm merge. So after it have merged, and then let's go back into my GitHub here, and also remember that you can follow my GitHub so that also you'll be able to see the code that I contribute. So that is it. So I think now it has been merged. So I'm going to close this tab now. So that is it. So let's continue with in our integration. So what we are going to do, we are going to make sure that we can be able to update our parcel. So I'm going to come here to the parcels. So here is the where you list all parcels, as you can see here. So when you click edit here, you are going to see that you are going into this ID. So the parcel and then this ID here. So here I want us to be able to see the parcel that we have selected. For example, if we have come here and maybe selected this one here, this parcel here, if I do that, you'll be able to see that we have that ID up here in my URL. So I want to use this URL here to fetch that specific parcel. So let's do that. So here I'm going to come here in admin and then in pages where we have the parcel here. So I'm going to come up here first thing, and what we are going to do is to make sure that we can get the ID from the URL here. So we are going to take this URL from ID from that URL. So first thing that I'm going to do here is let me make sure that I use location. So I'm going to have location here. So have a location, and this one we are going to get it from use location, which is from React Router DOM. So because I cannot be able to see it here auto completed, so I'm going to import it manually. So I'm going to come up here and import. I'm going to import, and then here I can be able to make sure that I import. Now I'm going to import from React router DOM, so you can be able to see it here. And in here I'm going to have use location. This is what I want to import here, use location, like that. So here we are going to have that as our hook or our function. So use location here. So the other thing that I need to do in order for me to get now the ID, so I'm going to create a variable here called parcel ID, like that. And then here I can be able to just make sure that I use location. So location here, and then after location we can be able to use path name, because now we can be able to access now the like that URL. So we are going to have the path name. So and then we are going to split. So let's do the split. So if we split here, we are going to split according to forward slash, where we have forward slash, and then we are going to take, we're going to have array, and then using that array we can select the second element, which will be our parcel ID. So after that, now the other thing that I'm going to do now, because I have this parcel ID, is that I can be able to fetch now that specific parcel. So I'm going to have use effect, so that we can be able to make sure that you can see here we have imported it. So the other thing that I'm going to do here, let me create a state here that will hold our parcel. So const, and then here we are going to have a parcel. So let's do that, a parcel, like that. And also here we can have set parcel, and then here this one we are going to use state. You can be able to see it there, use state. And then this one will be just an object, so that object will be an object of that parcel. So and then here I want it to be imported in just one in just one line of code. So both use effect and use state. So I'm going to have used effect here, like that. So since we have this, now we can be able to fetch our data. So remember, our use effect here takes a callback function, or a function, as a first argument, and then the other argument is just our dependencies. So right here our dependencies will be now our parcel ID, because when a parcel ID changes, that means that that will be a different, will be able to be a different parcel. So we are going to use this as our dependencies there. So inside here I can create now the function. I can say get parcel or get single parcel, the way you want to call it. So this is just a normal function. Inside now I use effect hook. So I'm going to call here get parcel. So get parcel, just like that. And then this one will be a sync, like that. So inside here we are going to have try catch. So try and then catch here, just like that. I'm going to make sure that I get the response. So here I'm going to use await, and then public request. So I'm going to use public request here. So I cannot be able to import it direct. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get where we had the parcels, and then I'm going to import this public request here. So I'm going to import it. Let me just come here and import it. So copy that, and then I'm going to come up here and import it right here. So here we have public request, and then if we have this public request here, what we are going to do is that now we can be able to use the method that you want. Here we are going to use get, and then here I can be able to get access this route here that we call parcels, and then slash. So here we can access this route parcels and slash find, and then here we can be able to add now the parcel ID you are going to pass. So let me just come here, and we are going to have now plus parcel ID. So parcel, we have a parcel ID right here. So if I do that now, I'll be able to have my response. And then let me just go back here. So I don't know why it is coming there. So here we can have now set, and now this is set parcel. So you can be able to see set parcel here, and I can do res.data, and then that is it now. So here I'm going to console log error. If I have any error, I'm going to console log it here. And then here the other thing that I can be able to do is I'm going to format my document, and then now I can be able to use this parcel and display it in these inputs here. So for example, here if I have the placeholder here, rather than me coming here and adding a dummy data, I can be able to come here and add something like parcel. So parcel dot from. So let's see if this will work. So if we'll be able to fetch the data, or is able to fetch the data, and you can see, yes, it's fetching. So this one is Sydney, because if you go back now and for example come back here and for example choose this one for Ontario, you can see this is Ontario. So if I go back and make sure that I select this, you can see it is Sydney. So I can be able to replace now here using here placeholder. So for this one here, I'm going to use parcels, parcel.to, like that. And here also we can be able to use sender name. So this is sender name. So parcel dot sender name, just like that. Also here for the recipient name, so here we can have parcel dot recipient name, like that. Here also the sender email here. So we are going to have the sender parcel dot sender email, like that. And then I'm going to come also here, and this is where we are going to have recipient email. So this is parcel dot recipient email, like that. So also I can come back here and to the this one, this is weight. So here we can have something like parcel, and then dot, let's say parcel dot something like weight, like that. Then I think here I can be able to add like grams, just like that. So I think it's not possible, so we can just leave it like that, or maybe you can even make sure that you add here like this these ones here, these backticks. So let me just remove it. So also here for the cost, also we can be able to do that. We have the cost here. So here we can have the parcel dot cost. So also down here for the date. So here the parcel here, parcel dot date, like that. And then also the other thing is the note here. So I think that's it's now okay. So here we have parcel dot, now what is this here? So here we have dot note, like that. So if I come back to now my code here, we'll be able to see that we already have this here. So the other thing that I want is for us to be able to make sure that we can update this. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to collect the information that you are typing in these inputs here. So to do that, let's come up here. I'm going to create the almost the variable that I created, or the state that I created in here in adding the new in adding this new parcel. So I'm going to copy this, and also for the inputs here, and I'm going to copy that and add it here in the parcels, or in parcel. So I'm going to add it here like that. So, and then now we can be able to use this handle change there. So let's do that now. This will be very simple now because we have the where we can have inputs here and also this handle change. So I'm going to show you how to use it if you have forgotten. So for this one here, we are going to have the name. So we have the name here. The name here will be from, and then the other thing is here we can have on change, and here we are going to have handle change. So handle change just like that. So here we can be able to copy this, the name and the on change, so that we can be able to paste that and save some time. So here for this one also, here we can do that. So this one is 2 here. So we can have now this one for the text here, and then here we can have this one for this one will be sender name like that. So also here for the inputs, we are going to have recipient name. So recipient name like that. Also here for the inputs, we need to have sender email. So this one we have sender email. So sender email, and also down here we can paste the other one here, which is this one is recipient email. So recipient email. So for this one here also we can have the weight. So this one is weight, and then also we have the cost here in the as simple as you can see here. So this one is cost, and also we have this input for the date. So this one is date. So you need to match the name to the to how you are calling it in the database. So here, and then the last one here that we have is this text area. So this one is note, just like that. So that is it. So let's now create a function here. I've almost forgotten here. So this one will be on click, sorry. So this one will be on click, and here we can have handle update like that, handle update, and then let me just copy this function here, right there. So copy this one here like that, and then I'm going to make sure that I now create that function here to be able to update my parcel. So I'm going to const, and then the name of that function, this is an arrow function. So let's do that. So this one will be async, yeah, and then now what we can do here is to make sure that we can be able to update that parcel. And this is very simple. So I'm going to have a try catch inside here. So if we have error here, we can be able to console log, and also we can be able to show it if we want. For the toast, we can use toast, but for this one I'll just console log. And then the other thing that I'm going to do here is we are going to have a res, sorry. So here we are going to do await, and then I'm going to use public request. So public request, and then I'm going to use put, because that is the function that is for updating. And the method for updating here, I'm going to use backtick, and I can now send the data to parcels, and then slash here I need to now add the ID. So remember the ID is on the parcel ID, this one like that, and then we need to send the data that we want to update. So here I'm going to add the inputs just like that. So it's as simple as that. So we can try and see if it will update. So I'm going to come down here also. So then also here I don't want to show the delivered here, because remember that if our parcel has a status of 0, that means that's when you need to show this. So I'm going to make sure that I do that here. So I'm going to first of all cut this, and here I'm going to say parcel, if the parcel, so dot status is equals to 0, that means that we need to show another thing here. So we need to show like a span. So let me just add it there, like this span, but because it's 0, that means it's pending. So actually not 0, it should be 1, because the email will be sent and then the status will be updated to 1. So if the parcel has a status of 1, that means that we can show pending, and then here this one will be red rather than green. And then if it is not 1, so I'm going to paste this here, then we can show this delivered. And let me just make sure that I show here if it's let's say it is parcel status is 1, or maybe I can say all. So all, I can use those two pipes here. I can say if it is 0 or 1, then we can be able to see that that is pending. So let me do that. So if I save that and come back here, you'll be able to see that this one is pending. But also if I come back to the parcels and take, for example, this one here, you can see it is pending. Okay, let's check for this one here. You can see also this is pending. So we don't have the one that it is delivered for now. So you can see this is also like pending. So all of them are pending, but if the status is not 0 or 1, that means that that parcel is delivered. So, and then it will show the delivered here, and the other things here. So it is so let's just leave it like that. So I'm going to come back to now the users, and we want to register the new user. So I'm going to come up to this new user here. So let's close this first of all and open new user right here. And then this one will be very simple. So because I have already shown you various things, so for example, how to collect the information from the inputs. So I'm going to copy this here and copy it like that. So I'm going to come up here in this function, and the first thing that we need to do is to import this. So I think we can be able to just import useState here. So I think this, yeah, from React, and then here we have this handle change. So the other thing that we need to do is now to make sure that we can open, or we can be able to collect the information from the input. So let's scroll down. So for example, here now we have the full name. So here we can get the name. So the name here will be, for this one, the name here will be full name, like that. And also we can have on change. So on change here, we are going to give on change to handle change like that. So I'm going to copy this so that we can be able to paste it and use it in different inputs. For example, this one. So here we are going to collect the email. So the name here is email. So also here we have the age. So let's do that. So this one is age. So I'm going to have age here. Then this one is handle change. So here we can have the country. So this one is country, country like that. And then also we have the address here. So I think this is the last one. So this one is address, address like that. And then now here we can have a function, or event on click, and we have a function that we are going to call handle add user like that. So let me make sure that I copy this. So let me copy this here, and create that function up there. So copy here like that. The other thing that I want to do is to come up here, and then I'm going to create that function. So const, then that the function now. So this is the function here. So after now we have created this function, what we are going to do is that in this case here we want to auto generate the password. That's why if you come back here you cannot be able to see we don't have like any input for our password, because I don't want, in a case where that the admin is the one who is creating password for the new user, and then that password is sent to the email of that user. I don't want that. I want a scenario where the password is auto-generated with from our system. So what I did is that I created that function to generate a password. So if you check here, this is the function, and you can be able to copy it from my code in my GitHub. So you can copy it, and then before now handled add user here, you can be able to paste it here. So it's just a function to be able to help you generate a complex password. So generate password and everything here. So you can be able to see, you can go through it and see how it works. So after that, now I want to show you how we'll use this generate password, how we'll be able to have this or use this generate password function. So after that, you can come back here to handle add user, and then here we can have try catch. We need also here to have async, because this will be asynchronous function. So the other thing here is that we are going to create to have the password. So const password here, and then this password we are going to get it from generate password function. And because if you check down here, you can see after it has generated that strong password here, you'd be able to see that it returns password here. So calling that function here, so generate password like that. Here we need now also to enter the length of the password that you want to generate. I'm going to have 6 or maybe 8, and it will generate a password that has 8 characters. So after that, now I can be able to make sure that I use now the password that I have here. So here I'm going to say await now, and then here we are going to have a public request, and then after public request you can be able to post now, because that is the URL that we can use to log in. So here is out, and then you are going to access register, and then the other thing that you are going to do is now we can be able to send our information here. So the information, we are going to spread the inputs here, and also the other thing that we are going to have is now our password. So let me see the password. Yes, like that. So if we have error, then we can console.log, and then we can be able to show the error here. So that is simple, as simple as that. So I think there's something that I wanted. So I wanted to make sure that I'll be able to show the toast when but the user has been registered in our system successfully. So let me save this, and I'm going to come here to new parcel. So I'm going to copy this. So from here, toast container, and also this one here. So let me copy this, and right here, if for the new user, I'm going to import now toastify, toast container and toast, and then also we are going to import this toast react toast toastify.css. So then the other thing that I'm going to do is that let me add toast container here after the container, because this is something that you need to do in order for the toast to work. So toast here, so import the toast or add the toast container there. The other thing is that after now, if it is successful, that means that our code will get here. Our code will get, let me just come here. So our code will get here. So you need to have toast, and then here you can have toast dot now the success right there, and here you can be able to add a message like user has been successfully let's say registered and has been successfully registered, and also an email, or we can just leave here user has been successfully registered. So now that's how now you can be able to use Toastify. And also if you want to show like an error, you can be able to come here and add toast and then dot danger. I think it's dot danger or something of the sort, dot danger, and then you can be able to show something like error dot message, I think so, or something of the sort, something like that. So I think it's okay now. So let's try and now register this user. But what I'm going to do is that also I'm going to open a new terminal and run the background services, because I had forgotten to run the background services. So background services here. And then here we can have nodemon and then index.js like that. So this one actually it will be able to send some emails, you can see here. So because there were some package that there were some parcels that we had not be able to send the emails because background services was not running. So I can come right here and add. So for example, this one I can be able to say let's say James. Okay, so the email here, I'm going to use my personal email. So like that one, like that. So here I can say the age here is maybe 27. Also here I can say I'm from Australia, and then the other thing is maybe the order venue, the address, venue 2524005, maybe Australia, something of the sort. Maybe let me add as caps. So if I try and add here, so let's see. So you can see user has been successfully registered here on the top right. So if I go back inside my my email, so let's go into my email, so and see if I have received that email for welcoming me in the system, and then I will also be able to see like the password that I'm going to use now to register or to get into the system. So you can see here, welcome to send it. So I'm going to open it, and right here you can be able to see hello James K, your login credentials. So we have my email here and also my password here to log in to. Now you can be able, if you click here, you'd be able to be directed now to the login page. Please keep this credential privately, don't share it with anyone. If you did not register for a send it account, please ignore this email. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to contact us at now this email. So you can see how beautiful it is, and then now we are able to at least have that user registered here, and that is it. So I don't want this video to be longer than this. So in the next video we are going to continue integrating, and think the other video we are going to jump into our front end, and we are going to look at how we can be able to make sure that we integrate our backend with our front end, and then we are going to be over with the project. So if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and also like this video, and also turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. See you in the next video. Have a great day.